So we're going to go ahead and open the file I already created, the Trifold card. And you can see here we have two different layers, and you can see in the red what it would cut for the card shape. And then on layer 2, we're going to have the cute parts that go on it. So now I'm going to cut my paper and load the mat and then do the cutting. So I've loaded up the mat. You can see that over here in the corner, the text paper is going to cut the fence. These pre-stamped pieces, and this is a Hero Art stamp, are going to cut the bird shape, and then this is going to cut, the blue here is going to cut the fly. Let's see if you can see. So this will be in blue, this will be the text, and it comes from a book, and this will be the stamped image. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see the arrow here on the mat, and so it matches the arrow on this mat. So I'm going to load it with the arrow facing forward, and then I'm going to choose the cut option, and I'm first going to load my mat, and I'm going to cut it too because most of this is thicker paper other than the text paper, and so I want to make sure it goes all the way in. So I'm just going to load my mat and cut. And I like to hold my mat when I'm going to load it so that it feeds straight. And press down my paper, make sure it's down good, and go ahead and hit cut. And so it finished cutting, and you might notice some extra little, they just rub right off. It's from when it cut, it kind of etched in. You can just brush that off. And what I like to do to make sure it's good and stuck on my mat, this is just a brayer, and so I'm just braying it down. It just helps things stick. And so we're going to go ahead, and you can see I'm going to do the same thing again. Cut, and it's going to preview. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I'm going to leave it on 2. I'm going to load my mat and then cut out the shape. So now I've inked up the one piece, and you can see I just inked the edges, and I'll show you how I did that. So I'm using my ink tool and some Broken China Distress ink. And so I just kind of rub it on the edges here. Now I have a pretty fresh Broken China pad here, so it's got a lot of ink on it. So it's given a pretty strong look to it. And then to color the bird, I just actually wipe over him. And you can see, since it was text paper, it's double-sided. So there's some extra edges, and I'm just going to use, file to kind of clean them up a little bit. This could also give it a little more of a distress look, because it's white core on the cardstock. And this little file set is from Basic Gray, but I think you can find a lot of these with like hardware tools or like nail files. But the Basic Gray set at the time was just convenient because it was all together. And you can see it comes with some little, so I can really get in there. I've inked up, and so you can see he fits right here. And so we're going to go ahead and glue him down using the ATG gun. Trying to line up as best I can, but it's off just a smidge, but I don't think that looks bad. And so you can see how it'll fold in. And then the other piece is going to go right on top there. And so again, I'm going to glue to the birdie. And glue the box. And this scrap with the stamping, I just stamped a whole bunch of pieces. A lot of times I'll be in a stamping mood and I'll just stamp, 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 and without knowing what I'm going to use them for later on. And so this worked out good. This is a Hero Art stamp, and I think it's probably Versamark ink. Not sure. I think using it originally thinking it would be a background for a card, but I thought it would look really cute with this one. And here's the inner text. I debated for a while which side I wanted, you know, whether or not I wanted it with the blue and that, or if I wanted the bolder pattern. But I really like the floral pattern, so I went with it. And depending on what you wanted to put, you know, writing-wise on your card, then I could just add a little square here so that I could sign the card and add a greeting. But I'm not sure at this point, so. I originally had thought this part, and you could write on that. I mean, it's not too busy. So I matched up the birdie first, and then put the fly down. And so I could, with these areas that are overshot, and like there, or I can take scissors and trim it, because that's a little too big. So just take the scissors, and trim it. So it leaves them with a weird little hump there. There you go. And then fix the edges. Or you could live with the overlap and say, that's what makes it homemade. So, there's the cute little card. And you can see that when it's closed, it has this cute little 3 birds sitting together. Love the fence. I almost put another fence here. And I think I could do that if I was designing another card, maybe 2 fences with birdies. And then inside, fly. So I think it turned out good. And this is from the Songbird cartridge. And you might think, because Songbird has all the text, that it's just letters, but it has a whole feature on it that gives you like the fence and the birds doing all sorts of things, as well as you can have the text in birds and birdhouses and flowers. So it really is a very cute cartridge, and there's some hidden features in it.